Aqua teens, come out and meet your doom. For we are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. No, it's just 1 week. Please stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I recently made a video on Aqua Teen Hunger Force and basically glazing it for 26 minutes. And since that video did so well, it seems like you enjoyed it very much. I decided it would be a fantastic idea to kind of elaborate on that. Since I talked about the main cast mostly and just how the show is and what it's about and, you know, how it was made and everything, I'm gonna dive deeper into a very important factor of the show: the villains. Now, I'm not gonna cover every single villain, which I was planning on doing, since that would make this video like an hour long. And yeah, I'm a small YouTuber. It's a lot of work. I'm way too autistic for that. So instead, I picked out some of my favorite villains, and we're just gonna go over them instead. And if you enjoy this video and enough of you like and subscribe and watch it, then I'll make a sequel video talking about more, because there are a ton of villains in this show. It did last for what, like 13, 14 seasons? 12? I don't know. YouTuber, by the way. Without further ado, though, please enjoy my Aqua Teen Hunger Force villains video. So to kick things off, we're gonna talk about probably the most iconic villains of the series: Ignignock and the Mooninites. They are pixelated aliens from the moon who are constantly trying to just either mess with the main cast, scam them into doing something, or just generally cause mischief.
Outside, out here in nature, away from your possessions, which are worth things.
So that's your plan this time, right? Get me so high so you can take all my stuff.
No, man. Where is the trust these days?
Quit asking questions!
We're here to take your pornography and sodomize our vast imaginations.
So give us the damn magazines! Man, you gotta check this out.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's a neat car she's washing. You think that's a straight six?
I think I have a straight six.
They carry these ray guns that fire a pixel bullet that moves comedically slow, but if you're hit by it, it transports you to the moon. Ignignock and are able to fuse together for some reason and fire a gigantic pixel that moves even slower. It doesn't make any sense. And I might as well bring up the Plutonians right away. Oglethorpe and Emery. Forgive me if I pronounced their names incorrectly. Oglethorpe is a obese orange alien that has a German accent.
Look at them, so stupid and so sad that they admit their own addiction. We know you eat your own fart.
They're writing it on our ship. You see that, right?
They shouldn't do that, but they're filled with shame. Admission is the first step in recovery.
Yeah, but they're making it look like, like we like to do that.
No!
Whereas Emery is the tall green one who is not the voice of reason between the two, but more so the one to usually point out that something has actually gone wrong. Oglethorpe is usually completely oblivious. Again, if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, please let me know. I'm so sorry. Probably my favorite episode with the Plutonians is when they tried to quote unquote terraform Earth by sending in a clone of Master Shake named Major Shake.
Who are you?
Your best friend, remember?
Let's all go give blood.
Yeah, the blood drive, my favorite.
That was a trick.
It was?
The real Master Shake thinks that the blood drive is a pyramid scheme perpetrated by Dracula and his night slave.
They gave me his photo, threw me in a pizza oven, called it a pod, and told me to wing it, and that it would be cool, and that it would work.
Why isn't the Earth de-terraforming?
Well, he needs to gain their confidence, and then he can get a job, and then he can start buying pesticides.
The plan doesn't work because they really didn't have a plan. They just kind of sent the guy in who didn't even look like Master Shake, nor would, replacing Master Shake actually do anything, because he's not a very important individual, despite what he would probably tell you. And the reason I bring out the Mooninites and the Plutonians is because they star in one of the cold openings called Space Cates. Well, it's not one of the cold openings. It's one of the 2 cold openings that they generally have in the series. There's probably like 10 episodes with Space Cates, where the Plutonians and the Mooninites in space are just kind of screwing with each other. Honestly, some of my favorite parts of the whole series. Up next, we have Han Banana, yet another iconic figure in the series.
Tonight, You.
The dog made from Master Shake's DNA, specifically his hand, which is a dishwashing glove. But yeah, Hand Banana is known for assaulting Carl on multiple occasions.
You talking to me here?
No, not anymore. We're done talking.
Hang on. Let me bend over and pick this thing up again. Hand Banana, no!
Basting that turkey today.
Huh? What's that?
Carl tries to counteract the assaults by creating the Enforcer, a dog made from the DNA of Carl's feet.
The Enforcer. I want my name to be Spaghetti. The hell you looking at? I'm your father, I just made you. I got your father right here. I got your daddy.
Turns out Spaghetti also falls in love with Carl and just assaults him too. By the way, he wanted to be named Spaghetti, not the Enforcer. So his name's Spaghetti. I guess he's also a villain too, since they both end up just doing Carl at the end and then it just ends. Next up, we have the Brood Witch, an evil submarine sandwich. Ingredients consisting of bread forged in the darkness from wheat harvested from Hell's half-acre and baked by Beelzebub. Mayonnaise made from the evil eggs of a powerful dark chicken beaten into sauce by the hands of a one-eyed madman. Cheese boiled from the rancid teat of a fanged cow. 666 separate meats from an animal which has maggots for blood. Dijon mustard, lettuce, and sun-dried tomatoes. Shake considers it the best damn sandwich he has ever eaten, but he does complain about the lack of bacon. We first find the Brood Witch when Shake is digging holes in his backyard. It's just kind of sitting in a cavern for some reason. And when you eat the Brood Witch, it teleports you to another dimension, which has a completely different animation, where he meets another villain, Jerry, who just ends up chasing him with a giant axe. We find out that if he finishes the Brood Witch, he will be teleported there permanently and end up dying. Shake does end up finishing the sandwich, but it turns out that he removed the sun-dried tomatoes because he did not enjoy them. So the voice of the sandwich tells him that he passed the secret test out of frustration and offers to marry him off to a skeleton bride. Shake refuses because he's not into skeletons. So then the voice offers him the real reward, which is free brain surgery. Shake agrees and is then lobotomized, where he eats the tomatoes without resistance. So then he's teleported back and Jerry finally cuts him in half. Very interesting episode. Next up, we have the cybernetic ghost of Christmas Past from the future. This villain is just, it's just kind of insane, which is, pretty normal for the show, but this one takes the cake. The drawn out name definitely tells the whole story. He first appears in Carl's house, telling him about how Carl was 8 and had really crappy Christmases because his dad was forcing him to eat carpet and work in like some union job when he was 8 years old under the table.
Oh boy, I hope this is a new mommy.
Yeah, it's not. Unwrap it, you little creep. We gotta be at work in an hour.
What is this, Dad? What? Is this carpet, Daddy?
Carpet? No. It's Berber. That's an industry term.
Hey, it's like a flying magic carpet here. Look at this. I'm flying around
Yeah,
in Egypt
that's
land.
cute. Don't get too attached there, Aladdin, because it's about to be magic flying dinner.
You can't eat carpet, silly Daddy.
No, of course you can't like that. You gotta boil it till the glue gets soft,
But during the story, all of a sudden, robots start attacking, and lasers were being shot all over the place. And he just starts going on about the war between man and a machine. But Carl doesn't remember that because it was only a prophecy back then. But now, in the future, the past has occurred. Before the cybernetic robot of Christmas Past from the future continues to ramble, Carl points out that it's February. So he leaves until December. Just kidding, tomorrow he crashed through the doorway. Carl's pool is then filled with elfin blood, and the ghost continues to talk about just nonsense.
Pays tribute to the elfin elders in space.
I'll do it. What do I do?
You must give of yourself to the great red ape.
Okay. How much?
Sexually.
Wonderful.
The entire episode, he's basically just going on and on and on about absolutely nothing, just making up as he goes. It's so goddamn funny, dude. I love this character so much. Just the name alone. The way he talks too, with the sound effect that they put on his voice. Thousands of years ago. The dialogue in the show's always well written, but the dialogue that they wrote for this guy is definitely top notch, dude. And then we have Dr. Weird and his inventions. In the first 2 seasons, Dr. Weird is the subject of the cold openings. Kind of like Space Cortez, but he was the first. Generally, we would open up with him kind of creating something stupid, rambling on, being crazy, and then his experiment would run rampant and become the antagonist of the actual episode. Sometimes, though, he just kind of dies. To be honest, I could make an entire video on Dr. Weird, so let me know if you want me to. I'll just keep it at this for now. This is a weird one. This is kind of out of the ballpark, considering everyone else is more iconic, at least on the list so far. Dirtfoot. So Shake digs a well and pretends to be stuck in it in order to attract women. But he ends up being in an apartment down there in the well with the elusive Dirtfoot. He's like Bigfoot, but he's on one gigantic foot like Munch from Oddworld. News breaks out that Shake and Dirtfoot are living together in the well, and the news for some reason will not stop pointing out the fact that they're homosexual. They just keep calling Dirtfoot gay, and he gets really angry about that. Shake as well, because, you know, Shake's not a homosexual. He's trying to get women. He's a ladies' man, don't you know, Master Shake? In a last attempt to get any kind of women to look in his direction, Shake slams his hand and gets it stuck in the mailbox. But instead of a woman actually coming to save him, it's Dirtfoot. He rescues him. Obviously, of course, the media is right there to film the entire thing and point out that they are gay lovers. This villain's definitely one of my favorites, even though it's, I'm pretty sure, a one-off villain, and it's not really a villain at all, because the episode in general is just fantastic. At the very end, it gets really crazy because an elderly woman stops by their house after that whole, you know, mailbox thing happened and says that she ran over their dog with her swords, of which Master Shake grabs one of, screaming, "I am straight," swings the sword, you know, because swinging swords makes your really heterosexual, obviously, and ends up decapitating himself. Then the elderly lady's top randomly just disappears. Frylock insisting Meatwad look away, saying that he will look, and then it just ends. It's hilarious. I love it.
Who got kicked off Top Chef last night?
What?
Try it again. No, you did it wrong.
Who got kicked off Top Chef last night? This brick sucks my ass. When they putting out the new brick?
Next, we have the triangles from Why Try. Again, these are kind of, they're villains, but not really. Frylock ends up getting this triangle that can just kind of help him with anything. Shake gets jealous, so he ends up buying one himself. And the triangles start to have sex. Creating more triangles. And then they begin to triangulate everything. Everything's a triangle. It's a dream come to life.
Who turned my friggin' car into a triangle?
Triangles everywhere. A dream has come to life.
Also, there's this guy Zod who keeps summoning Master Shake and Meatwad to them, screaming at them. And then Carl takes one of the triangles. He's like, "Can you, like, kill my mother," basically. He brings it to his mother, who's in the hospital. And then the triangle doesn't do that, but Zod's there and just summons a drill that goes up Carl's butt and kills him. This episode was just a very good prime example of the show being complete and utter nonsense. But the triangle is very, very memorable for me, at least. I can't speak English anymore, guys. This is really hard. Making content's really hard, speaking English. MCP Pants, how could I forget? The Demon Spawn rap artist from hell, who just keeps getting reincarnated. At first, he's a gigantic spider wearing a diaper and a shower cap, rapping about candy, needing candy. He uses these songs, not just the I Want Candy, he also does Doing It With the Shorties and Come Visit Me Dog, where he instructs the listeners through the music to come visit him on 612 Wharf Avenue, which is a real address in Red Bank, New Jersey. I would know, I've been there. All of these schemes are incredibly just ridiculous, which, I mean, what else would you expect? For example, with the candy, he wanted to bore into hell with a blood sugar power drill to unleash demons who would then operate a diet pill pyramid scheme for him. Outside of the spider, he's also been a cow. Mind you, every form he has a diaper and a shower cap for some reason. And he has the funniest voice. But as a cow, he was trying to break into a bank using flies' digestive acids to pay for his furniture. A worm with a rejected haunted house theme. A old sick man who was trying to become a vampire using the music to get a real vampire to come to him, to bite him, so then he could avoid going back to hell. And then when he became a vampire, he walked into the sun like a goddamn idiot. And then there was the fly with a song to stop the Insanoflex, which is another machine villain, I guess. Not really. It's a machine. It's not really a villain. I guess we could talk about like the inanimate objects for another video if you want me to talk about Aqua Teen Hunger Force more. You see, I'm coming up with stuff on the fly. I'm like a real YouTuber. Look at that. Dr. Wongburger. Dr. Wongburger, aka Mr. Wongburger, in the first episode, aptly named Dickisode. By the way, it's probably one of the most censored episodes in Cartoon Network history. I'm just talking out my ass on that. I don't actually know, but considering its original airing, there was a dick rocket ship built using nothing but dicks. There were little incredibly racist Asian bean people with dicks literally around their neck because they were chopping off people's dicks. And then there was a giant pile of cocks in the room. But for the censored episode, since I'm sure networks didn't like airing that, or maybe streaming services, I'm not sure where the second version of the episode came from. It was nothing but just like the light colors that show up on a TV when it's not static, but it's not actually on, all over the place. There was not a dick in the sode. But he first appears as a anthropomorphic penis. I can't say that word. What is wrong with me? Anthropomorphic penis. There you go. Which hails from Dick Planet. And this is when he was, you know, doing the whole dick rocket ship because he was collecting penises to bring himself up to Dick Planet. You get the gist of it. It's insane. He's a madman. You're a madman, Wongburger. In his second appearance, he was transformed into a shape of a tooth. A giant human molar, to be precise. Where he was pretending to be the tooth fairy, stealing people's teeth, doing a horrible job at the dental work, by the way. He wasn't just stealing the stuff under their pillow. He was taking every tooth in their mouth. Building a rocket ship out of teeth to go to Tooth Planet. Because he was a tooth trapped in a dick's body, apparently.
But I was actually a tooth trapped inside a shaft of a dick, crying to get out. I was able to change myself and become what God intended for me to be. Chapter Man!
You're a madman, Wongburger.
I know that!
And then, in his third appearance, through years of therapy, he became a gigantic cheeseburger. Because he was actually a cheeseburger trapped in a tooth's body that was trapped in a dick's body. I don't know, man. This guy's crazy. Definitely one of my favorite reoccurring villains, though. It's always so funny. Like, once they finally confront him, Frylock's just like, this is a stupid idea. And he's like, oh, well, you know, maybe you're right. And then it just ends. Or in the burger case, he just flat out steals Master Shake because he wasn't even trying to collect anything like burgers or anything, right? He's already a giant cheeseburger, cheeseburger, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm sorry, God. A gigantic cheeseburger that can fly. He's already that. So he doesn't actually need to steal burgers to, you know, make a ship that go to Cheeseburger Planet. He just entered this competition in the episode, I'm not gonna get into it, to find a buddy to actually take to Cheeseburger Planet, which ends up being Shake, against his will, of course. And then there's Willie Nelson, the onion-shaped spider monster thing that lives in the attic of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He is a monster who doesn't know how to be a monster, but actually apparently he does, because in the attic there's a bunch of just severed bodies and human remains, because he just eats people. But he's just very awkward, very laid back for someone who is like a monster, like an actual monster. I already showed this in my last video, but I'm gonna show it again because it is just one of my favorite scenes. Shake's trying to get him to scare Carl, so he gives him like 2 chainsaws and a script to read off of. It's so funny.
Nice head, I think I'll take it. Nice head, I think I'll take it. Nice head, I think. Oh, crap.
What? What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
What are you doing here?
I live here, ass.
And finally, I'm gonna end this with Bingo the Clown, or I think his name's just Bingo. A flying disembodied clown head. That's also kind of robotic. I guess I should also mention Styro Head, is that his name? Yeah, they're both the villains in this episode. Bingo only talks with his like clown nose. It's so stupid. But basically, Carl gets this wig, and he likes it. You know, he finally has a full head of hair. But the wig slowly starts transforming him into a clown. This is all a part of Bingo and Styro Head's, you know, master plan to turn him into a clown and spread the clown virus or something. Meatwad also ends up getting infected. They don't even resolve this, by the way. The villains never really actually look satisfied. You know, we don't even see them after they get transformed. There was no end game here. Carl and Meatwad are clowns. Frylock freezes them to deal with them later, and they end up just dying because he never actually figured out any way to fix them. And that's how the episode ends. And well, that was the that was the video. Those were some of my favorite villains from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Let me know if you want me to talk about more, because there are definitely more. Right now, I'm probably gonna work on a solo leveling video since season 2 just finished. I'm probably gonna do the you know, Idiot Explained series again. Try that, but you know, without getting copyright striked again. We'll see though. Anyways, my name is Dakosity, Dakosity Live to be specific. Like and subscribe, because I'm a very small YouTuber. My life is spiraling out of control in the downward direction with credit card debt, and I'm not gonna be able to pay for rent soon, so please, God, help me. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.